What's going on, everybody? Brendan, welcome back to Dad Planet. So I have another What Sold on eBay video coming to you. And yeah, this week, not like the last week in April. So we're covering the 8th through the 14th, a little bit slower, some really exciting bolos regardless. So let's get into it. All right, the 8th through the 14th of April, really slow, like painfully slow. Under 2,000 in gross sales, and then just under 1,200 in net sales. My selling cost up a little bit at 32%. Average sales price down, quantity sold down. You know, it is what it is. Every maybe 4 to 5 to 6 weeks, I have a very slow week like this. It just happens, and I've gotten kind of used to it because I know like future weeks it will pick up inevitably. It wasn't anything related to me not working as much or whatever. It just happens to me, and you know, you deal with it and move on. But let's get into the bolos. All right, this first piece is a really nice piece. So obviously a glass perfume bottle. It's Fire Island from Matthew La Barbera. I'm not really sure who this artist is, but does a lot of blown glass. And this was one of those pieces that was easy to take a risk on because it only cost me $1.99 at Goodwill. So I ended up taking an offer of $92 for this, very, very small, from 1997. And the buyer is 111.01 all in. This was a really great find in a very, very slow week. So we're off to a good start here. Golf is in full swing, no pun intended. I can't really tell you, Andrew, I'm channeling you actually, because you're probably more of a golf expert than I am if you're watching this video. King Cobra, I don't know much about it. It's a Speed LD offset 5,000. And that's about as good as I'm going to get with the golf items. So I was just reading data and it said pick this thing up. So that's what I did. I sold it for $60, although I think this may have sold for a little bit more had I priced it a little bit higher, but it did sell relatively quickly. So I'm happy with that. This buyer is $97.56 all in after shipping and after tax. And it only cost me $6.99. So what do you know? It's sold. I'm happy it's gone. We'll see you later. This is an item that I am familiar with. I sell a few of these every year. So it's a chrome blender with a glass pitcher from Waring Pro. The model number on this is 51BL16. They sell relatively quickly, and you know, it's summertime coming up, so maybe they sell a little bit quicker in the summertime than they would in the fall or in the winter. Just me guessing on that, but they sell. So I'm happy to take $55 for this. The buyer is $75.96 all in, and this cost me $8.99 at a Goodwill. In the title of this listing, I have MCM. I don't think that that's correct. I don't think this Sunhill blow mold is that old. I was likely just copying it from another listing that I saw, and I forgot to take it out. At any rate, it is vintage, and the condition at the bottom of it was kind of okay, but Halloween sells year round. I took an offer of $37.25 for this, and I only paid $4.99. This buyer is $70.83 all in. These are very easy to ship. Maybe in a future video, I'll show you how I pack them, but it got there safe. Everybody's happy. Great sale. This is a style of Nike that you're not going to see often. It's a fly stepper, and when you do get it, it will eventually sell. There's not a ton of them listed online and not a ton of sales to go on, but the list to sell rate is good. So the model number on this is 644576-001. I had a size 11. Took a little bit of time to sell. I actually sold it. The buyer never paid. Then I relisted it. That's probably what took it so long. But I got $44 for this, and the buyer is $66.17 all in after shipping and tax. They only cost me $4.69 at a Goodwill. So this was a good find. Again, not an easy style to find in the wild, but when you do, it will probably sell. This was an emotional purchase. There weren't any real comps for me to go on, but they were parrots. It was stained glass. It was really cool looking. It's a sun catcher, obviously. I did sell this for full price at $45. So this buyer is $61.12 all in after shipping and tax. This only cost me $3.99. It was gorgeous. I was able to kind of double box like the Priority 16 by 14 by 4 box with a bunch of bubble wrap. She's already left me wonderful feedback, so I know I got there safe. But you know, sun catchers, parrots, you put them together, it's probably a bolo. I don't really know, I can't really say, but stained glass sun catchers for sure. If you see them, run some comps if you can, because these will usually sell regardless of if you can find exact comps or not. All right, I went to a sale recently, and if you folks were watching that previous video, it was maybe a church sale. It was a little bit out of town. I was kind of rushed, but I did find these shoes and I listed them for $49.99, but they did eventually sell for $42. So this buyer is $54.84 all in after shipping and tax. These are NMD R1s and the style number is FV5 215, the transmission pack. It was a great looking shoe, kind of cool, like plastic piece on the back that you could see through, and you could see the Adidas words on them. Really neat pair, and they were in great condition. So the sell-through rate pretty good on that style number. So look for these. If you do see them, it's gonna be anywhere probably, I would say, between $45 and $65, depending on the condition, pre-owned. Flat iron balm, I don't use it. I don't know what it is. Read data said buy these. The sell-through rate is actually really good for this. So there were 3 of them in the store, and all of them were brand new with the cap still on them. And I don't dabble in a ton of health and beauty because I feel like that's where a lot of Veros come from. So I'm kind of shy when it comes to that category. I tend to stay away from it. And I gotta be honest, I didn't really look these up to see if they were on the Vero list. So, I probably should have done that. But just because a brand is on the Vero list doesn't mean you can't resell it. And that's a conversation for another topic. But I listed all of these at $25.99, and they all did eventually sell. This one here, no exception, $26. This buyer is $30 essentially all in after shipping and tax, and at $3.99 per bottle with a great sell-through rate, I was willing to take the risk. So again, even though a company is on the Vero list, that doesn't necessarily mean that you cannot sell it. And I was just lazy and didn't look, where normally in the health and beauty category, I kind of check the Vero list first in most cases. In other categories, I don't necessarily do that, but no problem here. They all sold. Not much to this one here. It's an external hard drive from WD, my book. It's Western Digital, and this is probably between $40 and $60 as well. So I'm on the low end at $40, but it's sold, and I'm happy to have moved it. The buyer is $53.10 all in after shipping and tax. This was in one of my haul videos. I think I paid $6.99 for it, but these are a little bit hard to come by brand new, like if you're shopping at Walmart or you're shopping at Best Buy for these kinds of items. So a lot of people are looking to eBay to find these. So when you see an external hard drive or like an external cloud-based electronic in stores, make sure you look them up, because again, with the chip situation and all of those things, and the supply chain is going to be disrupted a little bit more, because I think there's a coronavirus outbreak in China right now. I can't believe we're still talking about that, but pay very close attention to electronics in specifics in the next couple of months, because you'll probably be able to get a little bit more of a premium price, as they're just not as easy to come by right now in the stores for a multitude of reasons. So just keep that in mind. All right, this hoodie was worth every bit of $40. I don't know what possessed me to take an offer of $30. It was just a very slow week, obviously. So I sold it for $30. It's a Jameson whiskey hoodie. This thing was in excellent condition. And for those of you that have been following me, you saw me source this at the Goodwill bins. I mean, it just took a little bit of a lint roller brush to clean it up. And yeah, I sold it. So $46 all in. This buyer is after shipping and tax. And let's call this $2 to $3 because you pay by the pound at the Goodwill bins. This is a great sale. And Jameson hoodies and zip hoodies, it's a bolo. Look for it. All right, I think I was the only one in America with a vintage Samford University hat. So this is the type of bolo that I absolutely love, especially when there's no competition on it. Samford is just an underrepresented school when it comes to at least hat wear. So I had this listed for $40 and I took an offer of $30, and it sat for a little while and I expected it to do so, but this takes up no space. It cost me 40 cents at the bins. So, this is really just a matter of time before it sells, and $30 is a great sale. So this buyer is $36.79 all in. And is Samford University a bolo? I think it depends, again, because it's not the Ohio State University, which is a school that has a massive reach and massive appeal, and there's tons of apparel out in the world. Samford is one of those schools that you don't find those things as much. So I like this type of bolo, and I encourage you to look for these kinds of items too when you are outsourcing as well, because I do really well with them. This was a fun one because I've never seen these before. So they're like wood fortune teller sticks, and this is really old. Like, this is from the mid 60s. So Food Chew fortune telling sticks. It was complete. There are 78 of them that come in the pack. So I counted them all. It came with the instruction book and the original tin, and it sold for full price, $25. So this buyer is $32.17 all in after shipping and tax, and it was marked $2.99. And this was again a fun one because I found it at Goodwill. It was kind of unassuming, and the sell-through rate is really good. So this is like a bona fide bolo. If you see them and they have all of the sticks with them, make sure you grab it if the price is right, because it will sell, and it'll sell pretty quickly. I have been committed to at least looking at online auctions a little bit more as an additional way for me to source. And it's kind of easy because a lot of them end late at night. So when I'm sitting around doing absolutely nothing, I can look at my phone or go to my computer and, put some on the watch list. And this was one of the ones that really surprised me. So even incomplete as this was, I was still able to sell it for $75. So it's a 1960s 1/8 scale Big T model kit, and it is a real bolo, even incomplete. So if you get it complete, you'll make you'll probably do at least double what I did. So I paid $11 for it on the auction, and this buyer is $113.74 all in, and it went to California, which I think is why the shipping is high. It was a very, very long box. I think it was around 27 inches, but incomplete, this one is still a bolo, especially at the price I got it at. So it would have been great to have this brand new, because I think it's probably $300 to $350 brand new, but even as it stands at $11, I'm happy with $75. Keep your eye out for this kit and lots of old vintage model kits. That market seems to be doing really well right now also. This is such an unassuming brand for resale, and that's what makes it amazing. So these are Ultra Superior 3.5s. These were immense. They were a little bit small at a size 8, and I found them at the bin, so it was only $1 or $2, but please look for this brand. And even in the condition that I just basically left it in, it still sold for $23.50, which I think is an amazing price for a very unassuming shoe. Like, it's never going to end up on Shop Goodwill. And so this is one of those brands that you really want to hone in on, where it won't get sniped like some of the other ones. So keep your eye out for it. This buyer is $35.05 all in. Again, couple bucks at the bins. What a score. But really keep your eye out for the brand Ultra, because they look kind of generic, but the functionality for the shoe is actually excellent. Last one, a Pokemon card. Bought a pack at a store, pulled this one. It's from Cosmic Eclipse. It's Rosa. She's a full art trainer. It's 236 out of 236, and I sold it for $150. The card was in mint condition. The centering was great. So even if you sent this into PSA and got the card graded, and it graded a mint 10, it's probably $350 right there. And I expect the value of this card to increase, because it is one of the ones that is harder to find for all you Pokemon fans out there. But that's it. That's 15 more in the books, and I hope you enjoyed those. I just finished up at one of those local church sales and did really well. I'm excited to show you what I found. In fact, there were some pretty rare toys in one of the bags that I found. You obviously saw some of the stuff that was in my trunk, some of the electronics and video games. If you want to see all of those things turn up in a future video, make sure you're subscribed and hit that bell notification icon so that you know every time I upload a video to YouTube. And that's it. That's all I have for you. I hope you enjoyed that. Brendan here at Dad Planet. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we will catch you in the next video.